Yeah, I mean, the weave is on his head and in his mouth and it's not working. You know, he's slowed down. There's no question about it. The job of presidency was investing in real estate, picking curtains and fixtures. He'd probably be the most qualified, but it's not. He's not a business person. Trump Soho, Trump Foundation. When Michael Cohen was testifying in the New York trials, Michael Cohen took pride in the fact that he underpaid vendors.
Question, do you all know anybody who doesn't know how tariffs work? All right, I'll give you a hint. That other guy.
Remember when Mark Cuban was Trump's BFF? Yeah, those days are long gone. Now he's dropping truth bombs that are making Trump's hair stand on end. And that's saying something. Now, Cuban's gone from thinking Trump was the best thing since sliced bread to calling him out for economic suicide.
Get all that right. So here's kind of the angle I always look at tariffs on. I've known Donald Trump 25 years. He used to be okay on trade policy, but over the last 25 years, he's just lost it.
It's like he ordered a Trump steak, but got served a moldy cheeseburger instead. Ouch. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Remember when Mark Cuban was all about Trump? Yeah, those were the days. Cuban thought Trump was gonna be the political equivalent of a Shark Tank pitch that actually works. He saw the Donald as this breath of fresh air in the stuffy world of politics, ready to shake things up like a bartender with a new cocktail recipe. But then Cuban decided to do a little digging into Trump's business record, and boy oh boy did he find some stinky stuff.
The New York Times called you the most surprising surrogate for her. You're someone who's known Donald Trump for a long time. You used to actually give him political advice.
It was like opening a dumpster on a hot summer day. Not pretty. Cuban's love affair with Trump's outsider image crumbled faster than a sandcastle at high tide. He took a closer look at Trump University and Trump Soho, and let's just say it wasn't exactly a Harvard education or a five-star hotel. Trump University turned out to be about as legit as a degree from Hogwarts.
He's failed early and often, and the worst part about his business career is how many times he rips off hard-working Americans. Trump University.
Students were promised the secrets of Trump's real estate success, but all they got was a photo with a cardboard cutout and an empty wallet. And Trump Soho? Well, that was supposed to be this fancy schmancy hotel condo project in New York. Spoiler alert, it didn't go so well. The whole thing was shadier than a palm tree on a beach. Turns out people weren't exactly lining up to buy condos that came with a side of potential fraud investigations.
And have some work-life balance. And I don't think he's never been in that situation. Not all those people started like Donald Trump with a silver spoon, right? These are people putting their life on the line.
Cuban started to realize that Trump's outsider image was about as real as his hair color. It was like expecting a five-star meal and getting served a microwave dinner. Talk about a letdown. The more Cuban looked, the more he saw that Trump's business acumen was about as solid as a chocolate teapot.
Yeah, I mean, the weave is on his head and in his mouth and it's not working. You know, he's slowed down. There's no question about it.
And let's not forget about Trump's famous Art of the Deal book. Cuban probably thought he was gonna get some business wisdom, but instead he got a fantasy novel that would make J.K. Rowling jealous. The only deal Trump seemed to be good at was the one where he convinced people he was a successful businessman. So Trump wants to slap a 60% tax on Chinese products. Sounds tough, right?
If Donald Trump is elected and he puts these 60% tariffs on Chinese products, they are all going up. All those things you buy.
Well, Mark Cuban's not buying it. In fact, he's calling it economic suicide. Ouch, that's gotta hurt more than Trump's ego after losing the popular vote. Cuban's not just throwing shade for fun. He's worried these tariffs could hit small businesses harder than a sumo wrestler on a sugar rush.
Trump's plan is tariffs, which, you know,
Don't work.
he likens to, or Harris likens to a Trump sales tax.
Trump just crushed it. And it's not just crushing people's Christmases. Those small companies that support community.
Imagine going to your favorite store and seeing prices jacked up by 60%. Your favorite sneakers now cost as much as a fancy dinner. Suddenly, Make America Great Again starts to sound a lot like Make Americans Broke Again. But wait, there's more. Economic experts are backing Cuban up faster than Trump backs away from a fact checker.
Trump Soho, Trump Foundation. When Michael Cohen was testifying in the New York trials, Michael Cohen took pride in the fact that he underpaid vendors.
They're saying these tariffs could mess up supply chains worse than a toddler in a Lego store. And we all know how painful that can be. Cuban's not pulling any punches. He's warning that these tariffs are basically a Trump sales tax on everyday items. It's like Trump's trying to make us all feel like we're staying at one of his overpriced hotels, but instead of just a weekend, it's forever.
Question, do you all know anybody who doesn't know how tariffs work? All right, I'll give you a hint. That other guy.
Talk about a raw deal. The Shark Tank star is particularly worried about how these tariffs could impact small businesses. He's saying their costs would go up faster than Trump's Twitter follower count after a late-night tweet storm. And guess who ends up paying for that? Yep, you got it. Us, the consumers. It's like we're all contestants on The Apprentice, but instead of getting fired, we're just getting poorer.
Truths about me on Truth Social, but we don't have a relationship. That's as close as we come. I haven't spoken to him since right before he left the White House. The job of presidency was investing in real estate, picking curtains and fixtures. He'd probably be the most qualified, but it's not. He's not a business person.
Cuban's not just talking out of his, let's say, hat. Economic experts are nodding along like bobbleheads at a Trump rally. They're saying these tariffs could lead to inflation and make prices soar higher than Trump's hair on a windy day. It's enough to make you wonder if Trump's economic policy was written on the back of a Mar-a-Lago napkin.
And so a lot of what I love doing is I love helping companies become successful, which is why this election is so important to me and to all of us.
And how does the Donald respond to all this criticism? In true Trump fashion, of course. He calls Cuban a loser and a weak and pathetic bully. Talk about the pot calling the kettle orange. It's like watching a kindergarten playground fight, but with more spray tan and less maturity.
See, you can see he's declined. It's just reality. Father Time is undefeated. You can't be 78 years old and not expect some decline. I think he's ever run a company where you have to go deal with the fundamental basis of your business. He has no clue. And the worst part is, he doesn't care.
Well, folks, it looks like Mark Cuban's wild ride from Trump fanboy to fierce critic is more than just billionaire drama. Experts say that when big shots like Cuban start throwing shade, it can really mess with Trump's political mojo. It's like when your cool, rich uncle suddenly calls out your embarrassing dance moves at a family barbecue. People start to pay attention. But here's the kicker. Cuban's journey is a reminder that even the bigwigs can change their minds. So next time you're ready to build a shrine to your favorite politician, remember that today's hero could be tomorrow's orange turd. It's like political whack-a-mole out there.
You don't think of Donald Trump and say, that was really nuanced in what he had to say about this position or his policy. You don't hear him talk in depth about policies at all. He's desperate. You only sell those things because you have to, because you need the money. And it's obvious, look, people think he's this great businessman.
So what's your take? Is Cuban dropping truth bombs, or is he just another case of billionaire buyer's remorse? Spill the tea in the comments, and let's see if we can make sense of this circus together.